voices of Salem, they whisper in code. Iron would crack and he's losing the load. Finals uprising, the chains get erased. Keep moving forward, no fear in the chase. Darkness approaches, the heroes ignite. Shade out the light, we were born for the fight. Venom, I'm spitting, is deadly, is raw. This is my way, I'm rewriting the law. Get out the cage, let the monster inside. Hero or villain,
Okay, you beautiful friends, welcome back to the back of the semi-truck, and you could tell by the thumbnail, you could tell by the title, we are about to be jumping into another Things I Missed from My Little Pony, and this time around we are jumping into Season 1, Episode 6. Now, that is a pretty big episode considering that it is the first appearance of Trixie. So, with that said, the beginning of these videos are not like the reaction videos we do around here. They are fairly short. Sorry about the jump cut, but I need to do a bit of a quick 30-second little intro here to explain. I am sorry that I don't do these more often. I enjoy these. I want to do these more often, and I'm going to start trying to do them more often. Right now, tentatively, I am wanting to do these once every 2 weeks. Hopefully I can do it. We're going to find out. And other than that, if you're new around here checking this out, what I mean by things I missed, it is simply things I truly missed, trivial facts, some real facts about the show, such as Trixie's first appearance, or just something quirky and fun that I just didn't catch on the first viewing. So, with that said, let's jump into it. Season 1, Episode 6, let's go. Number 1, I know this isn't much of one, but it does show story progression here with Twilight actually practicing magic as opposed to just being like other shows and her just innately knowing how to do magic.
Hello, Rarity.
Number 2, and I feel like I might be stretching a little here, but I also feel like this is a reference to a wrestler from the late 90s, early 2000s by the name of Val Venus, because when that was said, that reminded me of his catchphrase, and that was his catchphrase back when he was wrestling.
Hello, Rarity.
hello, ladies.
And honestly, when I think about it, I'm sorry for showing the clip, because yes, the late 90s, early 2000s were a bit weirder than I remember when it comes to wrestling.
25, Twilight. 25 different kinds of tricks and counting.
Number 3, this is probably something that slipped by me in previous years, but Spike is putting a heavy emphasis on the word tricks in this episode, as opposed to using the word magic. Don't get me wrong, I know he's mentioned magic in this episode, but he is putting a heavy emphasis on tricks, as opposed to just saying, hey, do your magic.
True, for ponies whose talents are for things like cooking or singing or math.
Number 4, that's the title to this episode, Boast Buddies by Chris Savina.
Are you kidding? I don't think there's another unicorn in all of Equestria with your kind of ability, Twilight.
Gateway coming through!
Number 5, and this one actually surprised me, but this is Snips and Snails' first appearance in the show as well.
Amazing magic of the great and powerful Trixie!
Number 6, and I said Snips and Snails as well because obviously the big first appearance in this episode is going to be the Great and Powerful Trixie.
My. What boasting? There's nothing wrong with being talented, is there?
Nothing at all. Except when someone goes around showing it off like a school filly with fancy new ribbons.
Just because one has the ability to perform lots of magic does not make one better than the rest of us.
Okay, so I got a couple of things to say about this. First and foremost, Applejack and Rarity, they do nothing but come off as jealous more than anything. And secondly, I like what they did with Twilight here, asking a question about being better at something than others, because it's showing more character growth for her with being worried about how she's going to come across with getting better at magic than others.
Especially when you got me around being better than the rest of us. Magic's magic. Boo!
Okay, and number 9, I don't know what was happening on that stage just then, but that background pony was just utterly amazed.
It seems we have some naysayers in the audience.
Well, that was one heck of a blatant horse pun.
When all hope was lost, the ponies of Huffington had no one to turn to, but the great and powerful Trixie stepped in.
Okay, so from what I gathered, I can't find anything about any ponies of Huffington or anything like that, so I'm just going to presume that Trixie made that town up in order to make herself look good, but I did find out that the town does exist in Equestria Fallout.
Well then, I hereby challenge you, pony villains. Anything you can do, I can do better.
Okay, that is definitely a reference to the song Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Please! She's unbearable! You gotta show her! You just gotta!
So off screen, Twilight must have done a little magic there because now there's a zipper on Spike's mouth.
Magical powers do this.
Okay, Applejack, that was pretty impressive, but the most impressive thing that you did was loosen that rope around the apple to let it drop into your mouth. I don't know how you did that.
Green hair! Not green hair!
Okay, so let me take a moment here and look at these 3 things that Trixie did to Applejack, Rarity, and Rainbow Dash. Applejack. It's not talked about often, but in episode 3, we saw that Applejack likes to be in control, and being hogtied like that definitely took that control away from Applejack. Rainbow Dash, she loves to be the center of attention for being awesome, but she doesn't like being the center of attention for being goofy and silly. Rarity, and of course, she is very materialistic, and when she's given a hair color that she perceives as ugly, of course, she's going to be mortified. So without even realizing it, Trixie ended up hitting their pride harder than anything else she could have did.
What do you mean? I'm nothing special.
Yes, you are! You're better than her!
I'm not better than anyone.
16. I know that Twilight is trying to come off as not looking better than everyone, but really, what she's doing in this moment right here is coming off as more humble than anything to me.
Didn't you see how they hated Trixie's bragging, Spike? If I go out there and show off my magic, I run the risk of losing them as friends.
It's not the same thing, Twilight. You'd be using your magic to stand up for your friends.
No, Spike, it's exactly the same.
Come on.
Okay, so first and foremost, if I happen to be on the screen, wardrobe change, because this is a different day of recording, but nonetheless, number 17, and I've been saying this since the beginning of me rewatching this series as slowly as I have been, but this goes on to further show me that Twilight doesn't need help with friendship, because she's seeing a situation right now, or at least feeling like she's seeing a situation where if she does something, she's going to look like she's being better than somebody, and she sees how it makes her friends feel, and she doesn't want to do that to her friends. So, again, I don't feel like she needs help with friendship because she pretty much knows how to be a friend. I don't know how any other way to say that.
If that's the way you want to be, then fine.
Okay, so I get the gag and all, and I understand Spike being able to open the door with his hands, but if Twilight knows about doorknobs, how in the world are all the other ponies opening doorknobs with their hooves. I'm just, it's just one of those weird things I noticed.
Where are you going?
Get up now!
Got a major problem!
Yeah, Ursa made you to be exact!
Okay, so right here is where Snips and Snails definitely reminded me of somebody, and then I was like, you know what, let me go look up who they are based on, and it turns out that they are actually based on a line from a nursery rhyme, but in my head, hear me out on this. This is what I was thinking. If we had one more pony to add to them and have a trio, we could have had the pony versions of Ed, Ed, and Eddy, because their voice is definitely reminding me of them. And if we just had that third pony, we could have had someone to counter the CMC perfectly, other than Diamond Tiara and her friends. I'm just saying, that would have been a great addition. Number 20, and holy crap, I did not even realize that Trixie had her house destroyed in this episode.
Come on, Trixie!
Stop goofing around and vanquish it, eh?
Wait a second. Let me hear that again.
Vanquish it, eh? Vanquish it, eh?
So does that mean that Snails is Canadian? Number 22, and this right here feels like the first heroic moment for Twilight. Now, don't get me wrong, I know with, the first two episodes with Nightmare Moon and stuff like that, there was a couple moments there that could seem heroic, but that felt more like inquisitive Twilight than heroic Twilight. But with this scene, we have Twilight running towards the danger and everyone else running away from the danger, and she's not even knowing fully what she's running into, which is kind of what makes it heroic. Number 23, I completely forgot that she used a lullaby to lull this Ursa Minor to sleep. Number 24. I don't even think I want to touch on how much those cows are probably traumatized after that milking.
Heavens to Betsy! We knew you had ability, but not that much.
I'm sorry. Please, please don't hate me. Please, please don't hate me.
Number 25, and yes, I know I say that Twilight doesn't need help with friendship, but this is a good friendship lesson for her due to the simple fact that she learns that just because she's good at something doesn't mean that she's bragging and won't lose any friends over it. And also, bonus, derpy before the era again.
But you will never have the amazing, show-stopping ability of the great and powerful Trixie!
26, say what you will, but Trixie does have a bit of showmanship.
Just let her go. Maybe someday she'll learn her lesson.
Number 27, foreshadowing for later on when Trixie learns her lesson.
For starters, you can clean up this mess.
Hold on a second. So, does that now mean that Trixie is homeless?
Sweet!
And oh my goodness, I completely forgot about the mustaches here at the end. Holy crap.
So, how did it go with Rarity?
She didn't go for the mustache.
You know, Spike.
And at number 30, we get confirmation that Spike shot his shot with Rarity, and she completely shot down his advances. But you know what? At least our boy Spike tried. And with that said, That is all. Let's jump over to the afterthoughts real fast. Okay, so with some afterthoughts here real fast, I'll be honest with y'all, I don't have many afterthoughts other than the simple fact that this was a pretty good episode. Granted, I did not remember that Trixie was introduced all the way back in this first season, episode 6. But here she is, and she is the same Trixie that we know and love throughout the whole series. Has she learned a few things along the way? Yes, but ultimately she's still the same pony nonetheless. Now, I do thoroughly wish we had a third pony to go with Snips and Snails to kind of give us that Ed, and Eddy version, because I'm remembering going through this now and remembering that thought that popped in my head about how that would have been such a good counter group to the CMC, and how that could have made for multiple upon multiple episodes, and it probably would have been good episodes as well, giving us a great folly to the CMC. So yeah, I wish we would have had something a little bit different there looking back, but it's okay. Snips and Snails, they're always going to be who they are, and the CMC, ultimately, they grew into who they were as well, and I like what we ultimately got. So, with that said, Twilight did learn her lesson as well, so that was good. She doesn't really need that much help with friendship, in my opinion, still. I hold true to that right now until one of these episodes shows me differently, but I hold true to the fact that this was still a good episode for her to feel like she can actually show what she can do. You know, she is good at magic. Let me show y'all. I am, you know, I'm very good at this. I'm not better than y'all. I'm not bragging. I'm not boasting, but I'm good at this. So I'm going to show it off a little bit. So she learns she can do this stuff without losing friends. So that was a good lesson for her. Nonetheless, though, I told y'all I didn't have many afterthoughts, and I'm going to hold true to that. I am done. I'm passing it off to y'all at this point. So if you've been around here long enough, you all know my outro. So I'm going to go ahead and say it like I always say it. If you're new here, I know I said that a little bit awkward just then, but hey, if you're new here, oh my gosh, let me rewind all that because my brain is just today. Let's go ahead and try that all again, but hit that like, tickle to subscribe if you're new here. Got it right now. Don't be texting and driving. Watch what you love and love what you watch, and take it away, Mr. Rogers.
I like you just the way you are.